Sometimes we have to give up a little bit of comfort to have a better long-term solution. It's easy to think that a quick fix is what's going to make the difference in our lives. And a lot of times it's small shifts that we honor over time and doing things that might be difficult or uncomfortable that give us that space to learn, grow, heal, and become the people we really desire to be in life. I'm Latia, and I've been going through different challenges in my life. I'm human, that's how it works. And there are moments where people are like, oh, just give up on that thing, stop doing that. If you give up on what's hurting you or making life hard, then you'll have space to just do what you want and it'll be so great. And the thing about it is that sometimes we have these difficult moments that we need to push through to see ourselves in a new way. So for me personally, I know that I guess the environment of my life isn't quite what I would like for it to be. It feels like I'm around a lot of people who have very repressed emotions and they just don't care about emotions, and their feeling spaces are just a bit on the weird side for me personally. So it reminds me more of my mom and her stoicism than it reminds me of anything that I'm comfortable or familiar with. And it's hard for me. I'm really getting in touch with my emotions and what I need and what I feel. And whether they're great emotions or not, it's what I'm feeling in the moment. And so it's easy for me to just be like, well, any person who's like that, I shut you down, get away from me, I don't want this. And I don't want to be that type of person, because even if it would be easier for me to just shut people down that I don't like, I also know that's impossible. It's irresponsible. It's not going to be I could just be like, oh, you're like that, go away. I don't want to deal with you. I work for other people right now. I don't full-time do my own thing. And so it's sometimes you have to just deal with difficult situations. So in those moments, that's where I feel like preachers like Joel Osteen come into play, where it's are you going to be cheerful and honor that yeah, it might be tough, but you'll find gratitude in the moment? Are you going to be frustrated the whole time and complaining and kicking and screaming and worrying it will never end and not trusting that you have favor and it will turn out well? We all have a choice. And I feel like the only challenge that we have to deal with is the fact that there is judgment behind whatever we choose. Who cares? And I don't mean that in a sense of oh, it doesn't matter that you're struggling, but I say that in a sense of, if you're going through a difficult time, it's okay to honor that it's difficult and it sucks and you would like for it to end. Sometimes we need to complain a little bit just to understand what we're dealing with and realize, oh wow, I'm not happy. And it's okay, am I just stressed because it's requiring a lot of me to be in this position? Or am I just miserable and I am not meant to be here? There's a difference between, I guess, rejection due to something being unhealthy for a womb or a space that it's in, and just aborting something and giving up on it. While there's very subtle nuances to it, it's whatever you feel is right for you. Because at the end of the day, I can't judge anyone for their choices. I feel like I give up on a lot of things all the time, but I also have a lot of ideas, and it's okay, those probably just weren't the right ideas or the right time for those ideas. And I can keep making myself wrong for choosing to stop those things, or I can just keep working towards what I am wanting to create. And we all have that choice. Also, most people will mess you up. And I don't believe it's intentional. I do believe it's out of love and care, but there's usually a lack of understanding of what someone else's purpose is. So it's easier to just be yeah, this person's right, they know what they're talking about, but sometimes they're wrong in regards to your life and what you need. Because it's easy to be oh yeah, do this, do that, I've been through that before. But if you've been through it before and it worked for you, why do you need to tell me what I need to do when you had the space to choose what your best solution was? And I say that to say that I know I've heard that there's a quote that to learn from other people's experiences, the wisest thing to do. It's oh, that's very smart of you. At the same time, how will I know what I need if I keep listening to other people instead of listening to what I feel and know in my gut? So yeah, there are some situations you just don't want to be in, but at the same time, sometimes you need to be in a bad situation to understand, oh, wow, I was so judgmental of this woman and her abusive relationship. Why wouldn't she get out of it? But now that I'm in the same position, I see how you can get stuck in this. And I understand, like, I was wrong for being so judgmental and harsh. Oh, I thought I could never be abusive to a partner. But now that I'm in a relationship where I feel this way and this person acts in like this way, like they don't care, how I will physically do my best to control them and hold them down and back so that I can keep this relationship that feels so important to me. It's easy to judge people when you haven't walked a mile in their shoes. It's easy to judge when you don't know what they're really going through, because a lot of times we don't listen well enough to one another to really know the struggle. So it might seem like on the surface level, like, oh yes, like I know what your problem is. But sometimes people are crying out for help and others are ignoring them because they don't know what it feels like to be depressed. They don't know what it feels like to feel like the world is going to end. They don't know what it feels like to feel like there is literally no point in me being on this earth and nobody cares about me. And everyone says it's going to get better, but no one can tell me like they've been here and like make it feel like it's worth putting in that effort. And granted, like it is no one's fault if someone gives up or does anything, because it's like at the end of the day, every soul is here for their own journey and we have no control over what they choose to do. We don't know where they're ending up. We usually barely know our own soul purpose. So to judge people for what they choose to do to ease their pain or deal with their grief or process their emotions, that is where the true like difficulty in life lies, when we think we're so great and awesome that we know what everyone needs, and at the end of the day we don't. So I mean, if you caught my drift, just took that to a little bit of a heavy place. Me battle wasn't my intention, but like at the end of the day, we're all on our own journeys, and I am not here to judge anyone else and like tell you how bad you are. If anything, I feel like everyone is on their own journey and will get to where they need to go. And that like, I pray you have power in that choice and feel empowered in the decisions that you make, instead of feeling like you're forced to do anything that you don't want to do, to go against your true core values, or just to like appease other people. Because like, I don't want to live a life where I'm here to please other people. I don't care what you think about me. And if I do care, it's more because I was taught to care than me actually from my core soul of my essence giving two craps about what you think of me. Like, I care what my mom thinks of me, more or less, kind of. Like, it's like that. Like, my mom knows a lot about what I do, and I knew when I hit a point where it's like, my mom's just gonna be like very petty about these things, not gonna talk to her. And I didn't. And I still love my mom. I think she's amazing. I could not imagine a better mom. I cannot imagine a better dad. Even though I know they have like ways they could grow, I am so grateful for them. But that's a place that I had to choose for myself. And now I'm like going back through my journey and I'm ready to like feel and heal like whatever weirdness I've like taken on from feeling like I'm like both of my parents in their good and bad ways. And how does their external conflict relate to my internal conflict? And it's just a journey. So maybe I feel like maybe after like all of this contemplating on my emotions, I realize, that's crap, who cares? Like, I just choose faith in myself. I'm over like all this digesting and like figuring out, like, I'm good. Maybe I'll be like, oh my gosh, this led me to a great revelation and I'm truly free and clear to create whatever. That'll be good. But whatever I choose, whatever you choose, like, choose it with love, integrity, excitement, like whatever floats your boat. Because at the end of the day, it's you who entered this world. It is you who shall leave this world. And if you are not pleased with the choices that you made or the people you surrounded yourself with, that's on you. We can't blame other people for our lives. We can, it's just not powerful and it's not true. So as we learn to navigate these waters of life where everyone has an opinion and wants to tell you what to do, I hope you can hear your own voice, hear your internal guidance, whether from God, whether your higher self, whether just like your bright ideas and not your dark ideas. And I wish you a great day. Like, good luck. I wish you peace and joy. See you next time.